Hello, everybody. I hope everything is fine. Today, I'm going to talk about this guy. Yeah, this is Khomeini, Ayatollah Khomeini, or Imam Khomeini, as some say. He ruled Iran from 1979 to 1989. For 10 years, he was number one. He was a supreme leader, great leader, Velayat Faqih, free to kill everybody he wished. Anyhow, let's be a little, let's slow down a little bit here. So there are different opinions. Some people think that he was a saint, coming from divinity, God. He was a godly person. And there are many people who say that he was a psychopath, a crazy guy who was thirsty for blood, beginning with the blood of Iranians and then, of course, many more around the world. Now, which one is correct? Let's see, because you see, it cannot be something in the middle, either this one or that one. Now, here I'm not going to talk about how much he lied to the Iranian nation, how he, in a way, sold the revolution that Iranians started, how he was one of the most important factors, if not the most important factor, that the Irano-Iraq War started in 1980, and how it was prolonged for 8 years. His stubbornness in continuing the war, useless war between two nations, Iran and Iraq, leading to hundreds and thousands of casualties, or if not millions of casualties. And I'm not mentioning he didn't know anything about economy. To him, economy belonged to donkeys. That is a saying of him. How much Iranians' freedom was limited by him. How many thousands of people, prisoners, young people particularly, were killed during 1988, the summer of 1988. A command in 2 lines and a few other more monsters, they decided who would die and who would live. Thousands of people in 1988. All these. No, I'm not mentioning these things to say that he was a psychopath. Maybe he was, maybe. You might ask, how come many people went to his funeral? Millions of people. Yeah, that is true. Millions of people went to his funeral. But you should know Iranian people. They're very curious. Funeral is a place they can go and watch things. It's a bit complicated, but I assure you, it doesn't mean that every single person who is present at any important funeral is in love with the deceased one. I assure you of that. This is something like the carnivals in Mexico and North America and in Europe. Yeah, people are just there. Doesn't mean that they believe in that person or they love that person. No, they just want to see what is going on. A little bizarre, but it is the reality. So please don't mention it, don't bring it as a proof that he was a saint because millions of people came to his funeral. No, this doesn't count. And then you want to say, okay, how about his grave? Yeah, let's have a look at his grave, his mausoleum. So this is Khomeini's tomb, exterior from outside. Yeah, you're right, that is gold. How much gold, we don't know. And this is the interior of his tomb. There are estimates from 1 billion to more than that, billion US dollars. Yeah, it's a very beautiful place and very big. Yeah, it's ginormously big. So we can think differently. You can say people love him, so he has this grave with all those gold and the money spent. And Also, you can say, no, this is part of propaganda, the regime's propaganda, say this is a saint and people come here to as pilgrim and it's a holy shrine or something like that. You be the judge of that. Just, I would like to remind you that right now in Iran, hunger has been institutionalized. And many people do not have any roof, not even a tent to sleep in. And yet we have this place. So does this mean people love him, or is he a saint or psychopath? Now, let me move on another line of discussion. So I'm not going to use those arguments that he was this or not that. There is another thing, maybe new to you. Now, these guys, the clergy guys, okay, when they become Ayatollah, and then Ayatollah Osman means the highest ranks, they publish a book. And in the book, it's called Resale or Tahrir al-Wasile or Tawzih al-Masail. They try, they bring the questions religious people might have in their life, and then they answer those questions. In a way, it's a guideline to live, how people should live, based on the teachings of the religion, Shia Muslim religion to be precise. Now, Khomeini also wrote one of those. It's very interesting that most of them are copies from each other. So there's no novelty, nothing to this group of people. Okay, economy of a country, which must be the most important thing. Okay, people should live, should have income. It's something not that important. Of course, they really care for the money that they receive from indulgences. Okay, on this topic later on, another video. However, they talk about in their books, they talk about many, let's say, so many unnecessary or let's say trivial things. But I'm going to use, among many, just one example to show you the background of how he thought, this Khomeini, Imam Khomeini, how he thought, the way he thought and the way he believed it is true. So we'd like to open his Tahrir al-Wasila, his Risale, his guidelines for the Muslims, and read just one of the articles, one point. I'm going to give you the reference, the page and what reference, okay? So bear with me. So this is Tarjuma Tahrir al-Wasila, Imam Khomeini. So this is the Persian, and I'm giving you the English translation, okay? So it's page 563 of 823 pages, and it was Isfahan, Almiya Digital Library, and that is where you can find it, okay? It's online, you can just find it. And the 12th article, article number 12, mentions that, well, actually, I feel a little embarrassed reading the text for the Iranians and giving you the whole translation, but this article explains how you can have sex with your wife if she is less than 9 years old. And so this is article 12. He mentions this word, Imam Khomeini mentions this word, and he says that if your wife is less than 9 years, and by less than 9 years, he means milk suckling baby. You know, by default, by definition, milk suckling means it can be 1 day old, or it can be 9 months old, it can be 2 years old, okay? Anyhow, if you have a wife like this, you can do this, number 4, okay? And again, I really feel bad translating. Well, it means, okay, so you can hold your wife baby and rub it to your body. Okay, you can imagine what I mean. Now, I don't know where you live, but I suppose in the majority places of the world, if somebody does this, police will arrest him, and most probably the guy would be sent to a lunatic asylum for that. So my apologies if you're not feeling well right now. Yeah. Just imagine what Iranian people, how much they suffered from this kind of thinking. Now, I would like to leave you with a little bit more thought. Till the next time. Goodbye.